Hello, everyone. Welcome to Simple English Stories. Today, we have a long story to practice English listening, speaking, pronunciation, and fluency. Listen carefully, pause after each sentence, and repeat after me. Copy the tone, speed, and emotion. This story is called The Day Everything Changed. I never expected that one ordinary day could change my life completely. It started like any other morning. I woke up early because my alarm rang loudly beside my bed. I slowly opened my eyes and stared at the ceiling for a few seconds, trying to find the energy to get up. Outside, the sky was light gray, and the city was already awake. Cars were moving, people were walking, and life was going on as usual. I got out of bed, washed my face, and looked at myself in the mirror. I looked tired but hopeful. I had no idea that this day would be different from all the others. I made myself a simple breakfast. I drank a cup of coffee and ate a piece of toast. While eating, I checked my phone. There were no new messages, no missed calls, nothing special. I put my phone in my pocket and got ready to leave. I grabbed my bag, locked the door, and stepped outside. The air was cool and fresh. I started walking to the bus stop, thinking about my plans for the day. I was going to work, finish my tasks, and come home like always. Everything felt normal. At the bus stop, several people were already waiting. Some were looking at their phones, some were talking quietly, and others were just staring into space. I stood there and waited. When the bus arrived, it was crowded, but I managed to get on. I found a place to stand and held on to the rail. As the bus moved, I looked out the window and watched the streets pass by. I thought about my life, my dreams, and the things I wanted to change. I felt like I was stuck in the same routine every day. Suddenly, the bus stopped sharply. People moved forward, and someone almost fell. The driver apologized and continued driving. A few minutes later, I noticed something on the floor near my feet. It was a phone. Someone had dropped it. I picked it up and looked around, but no one seemed to notice. The screen was cracked, but it was still working. I hesitated for a moment. I could leave it there, but something inside me told me to do the right thing. I unlocked the phone and saw a notification on the screen. It was a message from someone named Mom. The message said, "Please call me as soon as you see this. It's urgent." My heart beat faster. I felt nervous. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I couldn't ignore it. I waited until the bus stopped, and then got off at the next stop. I needed to find the owner of the phone. I sat on a bench near the bus stop and waited. After a few minutes, the phone rang. I answered it carefully. A worried voice spoke on the other side. I explained that I had found the phone on the bus. The voice immediately sounded relieved. The person thanked me again and again. We agreed to meet nearby so I could return the phone. When the owner arrived, I saw a young woman. She looked stressed and tired, but when she saw the phone in my hand, her face lit up. She thanked me with a smile and told me that the phone was very important. She said she was waiting for news about her job interview, and that message from her mother was about her younger brother. He was in the hospital, but he was okay now. She said losing the phone felt like losing everything. We talked for a few minutes. She told me her name, and I told me mine. Our conversation felt natural and comfortable. Before leaving, she thanked me one more time and said, "You don't know how much this means to me." I watched her walk away and felt something warm inside my chest. I realized that small actions could make a big difference. I looked at the time and realized I was late for work. I hurried and took another bus. When I finally arrived, my boss called me into the office. I was nervous, but instead of being angry, my boss surprised me. He told me that a new opportunity had opened and that he had noticed my hard work and honesty over time. He offered me a new position with more responsibility. I was shocked. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. That day felt unreal. Everything was changing so fast. After work, I walked slowly home thinking about everything that had happened. I felt grateful and inspired. I realized that doing the right thing, even when no one is watching, can change your life in unexpected ways. In the following weeks, my life continued to improve. I felt more confident at work, I met new people, I started learning new skills. I even began practicing English more seriously. Every day, I listened to stories, repeated sentences, and used the shadowing technique. I noticed real progress. My pronunciation became clearer, my listening improved, and I felt more comfortable speaking. I also kept thinking about that day. The lost phone, the conversation, and the opportunities that followed taught me an important lesson. Life can change in one moment. Sometimes it only takes one small decision to create a new path. Now, whenever I feel tired or unmotivated, I remember that day. I remember how everything changed when I chose to help instead of ignoring the situation. It reminds me to be kind, patient, and honest. It reminds me to keep learning, improving, and believing in myself. This story is not just about a phone. It is about choices, responsibility, and growth. It is about how simple actions can lead to meaningful changes. And, most importantly, it's a reminder that every day is a new chance to become better than yesterday. Thank you for listening to this story. Keep practicing, keep repeating, and never stop believing in yourself.